nice. Alright, so I do have multiple pairs of scissors. Not exactly a basket, but this one right here is for me to make a little testy project. And I'll make a little weight so that I can test out basically where a human's center of gravity would be. And I'll test out the concepts before making something big and fumbling around with it. I already know what I want in my head, but there might be something that as I'm testing it out, I might decide I want to put an added safety feature, an extra gusset. You never know. Some of what I'm working with, I was thinking about using air pressure. I always thought, you know those blow-up houses that they have, the balloon houses for like carnivals and crap? You go in there and you jump around. It's like a hip-hop concert. Balls galore sometimes. Sometimes it's just a bouncy one. Anyway, we're gonna test out the stuff in the pool of thingy that was free. And we're gonna test this out, which we found while picking up trash, so it's free. We got the straws here, they're free, and we're already got some projects where we tested them out. We got the free paper plates. I'm gonna use them for making a little model. But if you look at a manta ray, all right, if you imagine that, it's a circle. The inside of its body is basically a circle with a cone at the back end, and then it's got the wings that come from that body section. If you look at the bottom of the Horton 229, they very heavily relied on the manta ray for that design. I mean, just looking at it, it's beautiful. Yes, it was made by two Nazis, and as somebody who has Jewish ancestors, no, I am not somebody who likes Nazis, but I do like the aircraft. Anyway, we got this special little doohickey that's supposed to make this stuff work. Let's test it out and see if it'll... Alright, that's one for blowing the air, so we've got this special adapter for sucking it out. And then for the blowhole thingies, like they have in all of these, and you gotta... Well, that's just gonna get me lightheaded. That's why they have dispensaries, so you don't have to do stupid stuff like that. Anyway, with that older feller, he got an air mattress, and he couldn't blow it up, and he about killed himself trying. So now I have one of these for in case it's needed. And hopefully I can open this and still have the bag usable to put it in afterwards, because that makes it a lot easier to fold it back up, put away, and I'll put it underneath my bottom side while I drive somewhere, and it'll end up as flat as it is now. If this will work, there's some of the stuff that I was putting together that I'll have to use less ribbing, which is good because that's weight conservation. Plus, the type of plastic this is, one of them is Mylar, and it's actually a pretty good plastic. Looks like I can read all about it. It's got some instructions on it. Alright, one of these is going to be a beach ball, and the other one's going to be a floaty thingy, and we'll test them all out. Anyway, my vehicle wasn't exactly working right. It's got pre-existing issues, just like my last one. Different issues, but still pre-existing. Just the way life goes, right? Alright. There's got to be a way to figure out. Alright, there it goes. And then we got this here. And we'll see how long it takes to blow up the little thingy. This thing is a little smaller than I was thinking it would be. But it might work as a sort of makeshift life preserver, maybe? I don't know. We'll have to... we'll have to test it out. Oh man, I haven't even done one of these since I was a kid. I don't know if I'll be able to, but we'll try it out. I remembered you have to pinch them, but I'm pretty sure that's that little nozzle thingy that's on it is for us to make sure you don't have to pinch it, it'll just do it. Oh, wrong way. I put it on the suction part instead. My bad. Well, I guess that's why it came with instructions, and I should probably read them. Yep, that's the part that blows. So how come this doesn't attach there somehow? I mean, it should. Oh, there it goes. Just had to put in some elbow grease, which I seem to be lacking a bit of now. It does seem like a pretty decent thickness for this stuff. The beach ball one was the one I really want to try out because I want to see how big it is. There it goes. You have to get it all the way on there, apparently. Alright. Apparently I should have spat on it first. It's my older brother's answer for everything. Yeah, that'll work. All right. So I'll let that one deflate for a bit on its own. We'll try out another one. How about the beach ball? Here it is. This is the one I really want to try out. Oh, and it's got some stuff that'll stick on it. Water watcher. Water watcher instructions. Huh. Oh, this is a patch. Wonder how it works. Glacier's Edge Owner's Manual. Alright. Well, pull out our beach ball and we'll try this next. Alright, what do we got? By the way, I got a bunch of that, you know, the fish hose, the fish tank hose. It's the plastic tubing that will attach directly to this, so I can actually take some of those and attach several of them together and blow several of these up at once. Kind of important for buoyancy and all that. Gotta remember I have to push this in all the way so that it actually opens up in the back, because if I don't, it's not gonna work. It's just gonna blow excessively like it did earlier without doing anything. See if this works. Alright, we're going to end up with a second coming of Jesus before we get this thing working. I don't know what's going on there. Ugh. I think part of it is that I just ain't got the hand strength I used to. Jeopardy music. Anyway, as soon as I knew I wasn't going to make it to my appointment, I did what I was supposed to do, which is call and let them know. Alright, so that's how big the beach ball is. Alright, knowing how long that took, I can only imagine how long it's going to take for the others. But, we'll try it. There's a couple other places I should have called today, and although I did call one of them, it was too late, and that's what made me look back at it. And most of them, you know, I was thinking they'd be open until between 3:30 and 5 or so. But no, I was wrong. That's what I get for assuming. My bad. You know what assuming does. Everybody's heard that saying. Anyway, let's see if this works any better. This is the actual pool. We'll see how big it is too. I'll take the camera out and point it at the pool when I'm done airing it up. That lady in the picture must be super tiny, because this is even smaller than it looks like in the picture. Well, now that I got it plugged in right, it's airing up pretty fast. And apparently it'll do that in reverse. Alright, so we got somebody making fake Sean profiles here to harass me on. Alright, now we got people on here harassing me. know how to get rid of these fellers. Blam, now we got 2 asshats blocked on my channel. You're welcome. Alright. So I guess the pool is kind of a alright size. Definitely not the right size for what I would want it for, but it was a good thought, and I might be able to work with it actually. Let's see what else. We got one more thing to test out, don't we? Although I think what I'm going to do is suck the air out of this here little dinky pool. And put it away. Oh, we got another person on here trolling. Alright, and now that we got that done, I'd use her on this channel. Blam, easy. And that annoying sound is, of course, letting us know that this one is done. I had to make a YouTube channel because I wasn't allowed to speak. People wanted to use the term mentally ill. Mentally ill is not a diagnosis. They wanted to pretend like I was schizophrenic because they had done wrong. They thought, oh, well, you know, if I run around and tell people Sean is schizophrenic, then magically I didn't do anything wrong. Oh, man. Yeah, I gotta say, though, liking somebody doesn't make them any less stupid. Ask Forrest Gump, he'll tell you. This thing is actually pretty cool looking. Once in a while, I guess, thank goodness for people who throw the trash out. As far as missing appointments, I don't like missing appointments, and I don't mind letting people know that I missed an appointment or that I was going to miss an appointment, because life happens. Everybody knows life happens. What happens while you're busy making plans? It's called life. And it happens to everybody. Alright, this one is a little different setup. I think it might actually work better. Certainly appears to. Alright, so now we got another person making another fucking nut job thing to harass me. And you know what? After everything since 2016, I am so used to this. great thing is, on YouTube, I'm able to take screenshots, hide user on this channel, and blam, the harassment goes away. So they make another profile. They've been doing that since I left Virginia in 2016. This is not an okay way to treat a human being. But of course, apparently due to the genitalia I was born with, it's somehow magically okay. I don't think it should be. Well, I'm thinking this definitely works for some stuff I need it for. I'll say this is just as good a kayak as any. I can use it. Yeah, I would totally use this as a kayak. Oh, we got another one of these people getting on here. Man, we got so many of these today. Looks like they prepared them ahead of time. All right, y'all know how this works. Let's see. Oh, here we get some more of them, don't we? Let's see. There we go. All right, now we'll go to the next ones. Just a whole bunch of these. You got no idea how many of these I get to deal with. All right. Anyway, we know what to do with these guys. Been doing it for a while. Go to, well, of course, take screenshots. And blam. The great thing about my channel is I can be an autocratic dictator. We got a bunch of nut jobs making fake profiles and harassing them. Of course, we also got a lot of these nut jobs who wanted to pretend like they were going to help me until they didn't get what they wanted right when they wanted it. Of course, I never got what I wanted, but that don't matter, does it? Nope, you guys call me mentally ill, and then magically it's okay to harass me. It's okay to threaten me. It's okay to threaten my family and my friends. Well, I'm a lot meaner son of a bitch than you might believe. You guys think it's okay to be evil to my loved ones? Fuck no. See, that's where all this shit got fucking started. I did the right thing for a couple of fucking junkies. They got embarrassed, the next thing I know, I got a bunch more fucking junkies threatening me and my loved ones. Hell no. When I went to them loved ones for help, they wasn't hearing it. I didn't have time, they was just way too busy. We probably, yep, here's another one. Someone calling themselves Bill Jensen. This one of them fake Christians we get to hear so much about. He wants to claim it's something to do with the Jesus feller. Let's go to his channel. You notice how these people like to, of course, blame the Jesus for their decisions. Let's see. Blam. Done. And then we got another person here with another one of these accounts. Now, and these guys, of course, this Bill Jensen dude claiming this is about my faith in the Lord. God isn't making them do evil shit. It's got nothing to do with my fucking faith in the Lord. It's got to do with wicked people who do wicked things, and any excuse will do. Why don't I follow your religion? Because I am sickened by it. Jesus is my favorite character of any book ever written. My favorite one, bar none. But then I see the evils of the people claiming to be his followers. Really? That ain't following Jesus. Jesus would want to know the truth. Jesus wasn't a witch hunter out there wanting to cast the first stone. Jesus was also a verbal wizard. It's called being snake-tongued, or fork-tongued, or silver-tongued. One prime example, of course, is when that Jesus feller was talking about the coins. Well, not just the wordplay with the woman giving more than the rich man because she gave all that she had, but also render unto God that which is God's, and render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. That's more wordplay. More silver tongue. I made my channel for speaking out because there are many people that don't have a voice. Primarily the homeless and males. And of course the disabled. When we got people who are doing horrible things to others in the name of Jesus, people like Cora Bowers, Bill Jensen, and his group of wannabes. These are the same mentality of mofos who put my ancestors in places like Nuremberg, Dachau, and Auschwitz. My ancestors came from all over, though. They weren't primarily Germans or primarily Russians. They were Russian Germans of Hebrew descent. They were mutts. I don't believe in any of this racial purity crap. So that's one thing that BLM sees me, they see a white guy. And then, of course, we got the, the Me Too movement. Well, Me Too unless you happen to be a male, in which case they apparently believe that it's still okay to blame you for everything that's ever happened bad to women. It must be your fault because you have a penis and all that. Well, I don't subscribe to that way of thinking. I think that is stupid. I think blaming a person based on their genitalia and choosing their right and wrong based on their genitalia and social bias is stupid. The law is set up so that it's not supposed to be that way, but it's not used in the way that it's supposed to be used. Now, I could take the blame for that. I could tell myself that it's all my fault because I'm not trying hard enough, I'm not fighting hard enough, I'm not doing enough, so on and so forth. But the reality is, I'm doing more than anybody else I know. And I'm doing it while being harassed quite a lot everywhere I go. Having my life threatened, having people that when they don't get their way, they just make false accusations and it's all magically okay. And we've taught every woman in America that this is okay. This is acceptable. No, it's not acceptable. I fight for all of the victims. That includes victims of false allegations. There's a lot of people that promised to help me that later on they wanted to tell me about all the stuff that their family had been through and so on and so forth. I'm like, yeah, and when I spoke up about it, they called me schizophrenic. That's why I told you you needed to speak up. And of course I had to record them, didn't I? They're not happy about that, are they? Of course they're not. Now, I deal with a lot of these trolls, and being able to try to turn them in isn't exactly the easiest goddamn thing to do. And of course, we got even more of these. Alright, someone called Watch Medic 7 Christian videos typed. Damn, we got a whole bunch of these guys on here. A whole bunch of them. Just keep making more profiles to harass me and threaten me, and of course try to get people to hate me for things that didn't happen. Dang. On the bright side, I still speak out. The appointment that I missed today was for turning in people like this. And people like this in real life as well. Having my life threatened, having my little sister's life threatened, and having other people's lives threatened, that ain't okay. They sure don't like it if I threaten them back, do they? Then I'm evil. Then they get to take me to court as if I'm an evil son of a bitch for doing something bad. Well, that's what real America really is. People need someone to hate, including Bill Jensen and all of his little buddies, including the Bollinger family. What a bunch of nasty, nasty people. First of all, to molest your own daughter, that really takes a sick SOB. Of course, we already know Ted Bollinger is a sick SOB. We know who it is that really victimized Natalie. We also know who's being victimized over it to this day. And it ain't Ted Bollinger. And that's just sad. Now, when it comes to these little blow-up devices, they're pretty cool, and they will perform the function required, at least to some small degree. Also, I have some expanding foam. I could probably spray the insides of these with some expanding foam to give them a little bit of rigidity. I don't know. We'll have to see. I really want to save the expanding foam just for the parts that I need to be lightweight, but at least have some structural rigidity to it. Now, I'm used to being harassed. Most of my life, I've been harassed for being different. When I grew up in the system, I got beaten up a lot for the color of my skin. But I never carried hatred over it. I knew that being in the system was a different life. I wasn't in the system because I was some sort of a bad kid. I was in the system because I had parents that could not stay off the fucking drugs. Just like Natalie Bollinger's parents. But unlike Natalie Bollinger's parents, I gave a shit about somebody other than myself. Natalie didn't have to die for me to give a shit. I gave a shit well before she was ever a corpse. The problem is, people thought it was okay to abuse me. They didn't give a shit about me as a human being or what I went through. When Natalie disappeared, there's lots of people who offered to help me how I needed, and a lot of people who offered to help in ways that I didn't need, and a lot of people who just wanted to be assholes and type, "You need help." Well, fuck you too, bitches. This shit's been going on for years. I get treated like I wanted it, needed it, chose it, or deserved it because I stick up for myself. Because I stick up for my rights as a human being. And these are your rights too. Not that you care. We got people like Bill Jensen who want to hate. They don't want to look at evidence. Don't even ask about evidence. They just want to hate. And this hate's been going on for years. There were a lot of people who claimed that they cared about me, and every single one of them that I went to go see in person, had the opportunity in person to look at the evidence in person. Instead, they wanted to tell me they trusted me. I didn't need them to trust me. Trusting me meant that they believed me. I didn't need them to believe me. I needed them to know for sure. But they wouldn't do it. "Oh, Sean, you're the most honest person I know, blah, 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 blah." Stop blowing smoke up my ass. Tell the cops this shit. Don't tell me. I'm not the person that needs to fucking hear it. The public needs to hear it. They're fucking victimizing me still for being different. Meanwhile, how many of these people actually fought for my rights? None. Not a single one. They didn't even know what it entailed. They couldn't even take the time to shut up long enough to find out what it would take. A lot of them wasted resources in areas that I'd already exhausted by myself. And I explained to all these folks over and over again, hey, there's stuff that works and there's stuff that don't. You can have your opinions all you want, but when it comes down to it, you need to ask the people who have gone through those experiences, because it's different. The way that you assume that it is, or the way that you assume that it should be, you tell me to call these places. You say, hey, when I had this problem, I called this place, and they help out people like us. And I call them up, and they tell me that's not what they do. And then you want to argue with me because they helped you. But then, of course, it all comes down to when they helped you, either A, you had somebody going in with you, or B, you're a woman. There's lots of services out there for women. There's also lots of services out here for felons. I had a lady out here, she was telling me about how there's a co-ed shelter and there's a men's shelter, but there's no women's shelter. And that is backwards from everywhere else I've ever been. So I asked about it. Just so happened the first person I asked about it is a felon who's in a halfway house. That's the men's shelter. It's a men's halfway house. They do have a women's halfway house. You have to be a convicted felon in order to utilize the services there. Now, if you're on probation, they have day services, I guess, is from what one of the people was telling me, but he's not there. He doesn't go to that place. He doesn't get their services. And of course, we've been dealing with this harassment over the internet and in real life for years. When I say we, I mean myself and anybody who watches my channel, of course, or anybody who's had to deal with it in real life. The problem is I don't like being played, especially when people's lives are at stake. The problem is people expected me to shut my mouth while my loved ones are killed. No, not going to happen. I don't know what on God's green earth would make people think that it was going to work that way. They could threaten, harass, or intimidate me into not telling the truth. We're showing it. And that pissed people off the most. The fact that not only did I tell the truth, I showed it. Of course, now we've got this person on here creating more of these. Wannabe Bill Jensen feller. God damn. Ain't we used to this? A lot of hell, huh? Says Medic 7 and Bill Jensen sent us here. Now this kind of harassment, I shouldn't have to do this shit on YouTube. I should be allowed to fucking face my accusers in court. Instead, I'm getting harassment like this. It's just fun and game to you guys. I'm not a human being to you guys. You want to call yourselves Christians and pretend that you're good Christian soldiers. But you're just simply not. You're doing the opposite of what, of course, the Jesus taught. Now, with me being somebody who likes to read, I've read your book. I've read Jesus' book. I've read Muhammad's book. I read Abraham's book. I read all them books. There's not much I love more than reading. So, of course, more of this harassment. And this is the kind of stuff that definitely, you see this? It's gang stalking. Now, this was Bill Jensen's so-called buddies here. This has been going on for months. Pretending like they have faith in God. They're doing the devil's handiwork here and claiming they believe in God. Well, you know, believing. You don't have any faith. Oh, here we are getting spammed again. If he spams my channel, blah, blah, blah. Yep, a whole bunch of them just spamming the fuck out of it. Isn't it lovely? But getting anybody to give a shit, that's the thing, is that it doesn't matter how right I am. What matters is that I can't get heard. What matters is that the most disgusting people in this country are people like the ice holes who are harassing me on my YouTube right now. Sound like somebody yelled. Anyway, good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.